general, what do you think makes women happy and what makes men happy? What would you say?
Generally speaking, let's see. What makes women happy? I think what makes women happy, like, do you mean like just in terms of like fulfillment, genuine fulfillment, or just like...
No, genuine fulfillment. If women were going to track a path to happiness, what would that include? Because I think it's very different actually for men and women. Like I would say, for example, I think that women are happier when there's more of a work-life balance.
Yeah.
I think that women are happier when there's more peace in their life. I think women really thrive in moments of calm and moments of peace. We need that.
Yes.
We really, really need that.
Yeah, the only problem is like when you have like, I think women get fulfillment from family, genuinely speaking, and close
holidays,
personal
all of
connections and relationships. I think men get happiness from family as well, but also from striving to be, especially financially, better. So just trying to challenge themselves every single day builds your character as a man. And that's kind of the hero's journey. That's what everybody fetishizes about in every single movie. The guy that starts with nothing has to do everything to get to where he wants to be. So I think that's what makes a man genuinely feel fulfilled, happiness and financial success over time. But that only comes from having success in other things like discipline and being willing to do something every single day. So
I feel like men need to feel strong. And by strong, I mean strong, empowered. And for me and my observations, I really believe that women need to feel at peace, meaning that you're not worried about your guy and what he's doing. You're not, worried about, I have to put in, hate to say it, it'll be controversial, but, 18 hours a day at the office.
Yeah,
I once worked in an office setting, and
how do you feel about women in the workplace then? Because I believe that when women have to compete directly against men, because men have testosterone, we have a complete competitive advantage. This is the first time in human history women are competing directly for resources against men. I think that adds a lot of stress that women don't need.
So it's not, for me, it's not only don't need, but I think a lot of them don't want.
Right. But when you have that conversation with most women, do you think they're honest about that?
No, I don't. I don't think they're honest about it. And I can say this as somebody who, I have had the high-powered jobs, which in media is not easy. You do a lot of free television. You're in buildings a lot. You spend a lot of time working. I taught for years. I don't know how much you know about me, but I taught middle school and high school for years. I taught college, and I was always a worker. But I had limits. Limits. And I remember when I met my husband, who is he's the kind of guy that can go to an office and work for 16 hours and he's just laser focused and it doesn't take a toll on him. I remember saying to him, I could never do that. It would sap like my life force out of me. Yeah. And I think that a lot of women aren't happy. They're not happy doing those things. They want more work-life balance. They want more time for other things. They want to be able to sit outside on the grass with their kids.
Then why are we telling young women that careers are more important than family then?
I think that came from women got very scared at some point. And I think this happened through feminism, where it became scary for them to rely on men. I think that they worried about things like being left, and we're told guys are gonna, they'll spend all their years building themselves up and they'll grow these careers, and then if they leave you, you'll have nothing. I think there was a lot of that messaging.
Statistically speaking, it's the women that leave. Like 80% of the time, it's the women.
That's not how the messaging got to women, though, and I think women felt very afraid of not being self-reliant.
And that completes the point that I was trying to make about the propaganda and companies influencing pop culture. Did you know that the lady who was the top journalist for Cosmopolitan, I forget her name. People can look it up. The lady who was the top journalist for Cosmopolitan lied when the magazine was at its highest, with its peak in terms of influence with women. She was lying about facts, data, and statistics in order to promote a more Sex in the City lifestyle because it would sell more magazines.
All those women were miserable.
Exactly.
On Sex in the City, though, anybody who watched that show, and it's interesting because they came out with Reboot. I don't mean to interrupt you. They came out with the Reboot, and everybody realized how sad. I grew up with that show.
Yeah.
So I watched it young and I was like, oh, it's fun. It's a bunch of 30-somethings running around in the city. I didn't absorb it. I watched it now. I'm a grown-ass woman. I have a kid. I have a family. And I looked and I said, oh, what a bunch of sad women.
And that's why there's so much societal pressure on women, because when you're at the top of the world, you're 18, nobody can tell you nothing. Every woman is going to agree with you and every man is going to agree with you because they want to sleep with you. So everything you're told is that you're right, you're perfect, you're beautiful. There used to be societal pressure to tell women, hey, you might want want to get pregnant before you're 30 because when you turn 30, 90% of your eggs are gone. By the time you turn 40, 97% of all your eggs are gone. When you hit 35, you are in high risk pregnancy. That was what we knew historically speaking. So we had social pressures in order to push women to do those things and to rush to do those things, even if they didn't feel like it, because life isn't about doing what you want to do all the time. Sometimes it's about doing what you have to do, doing what's more responsible.
It also is different. PBD and I had a conversation the other day. Patrick said to me, "Are you going to have more kids?" And I said, "No." I said, "Just one for me." I said, and it would be hard to do all of this, with a child. And he made a comment about, I said, I don't remember how the conversation went after that, but I said something to him like, it's hard to be a CEO. It would be really hard to be a CEO for you if you had morning sickness. And there's just differences that come along. And those are not burdens. I mean, I'm a superhero. I gave birth to a child. I mean, that is my biggest superpower.
That's insane. People just discredit that too much. I
always say that.
Women are literally the creators of culture. Like I tell, like when guys go, if you're married, that's like being a prostitute, or like that's prostitution because she's technically only there for your resources. That's not what it is. Women contribute a lot. Women are the social centers of America. They organize social communal events. They create culture amongst kids. The man imprints his values on the woman. Since she spends a lot of time with the kids, she imprints the values on the kids. And now we're in a situation where women are told to work. The kids are undermined. They're being pinned all this LGBTQ stuff because women have decided to work. The kids are more obese than ever because when they come home, they eat fast food and nobody's happy.
That's right.
So it's but all of that, again, I think comes from the root cause.
People always ask me that one question I always get in interviews is, what's your biggest accomplishment? And I'm like, I created a person. I built a human from start to finish. Yes. And that is my biggest. Don't talk to me about The View or Fox News, or I made a human being.
Yeah. Because when it's all said and done, when you're 80 years old, sitting in your deathbed.
That's right.
No one's going to care. You're not going to be thinking, I wish I did more work. You're going to be thinking, I spent more time with the people I love. And you're going to be surrounded by generations of people. Unfortunately, we just had a loss in the family on my wife's side. That. Yeah. But when we were there, I looked at my wife and I told her, just imagine how beautiful this is. She has generations of people around her that came from her specifically. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And I think that we don't talk about how important that role is enough. And I think it's predominantly women that downplay that role. I don't know a single man that has said, that has made fun of a woman for cooking and cleaning and taking care of her family. I don't know a single man that's ever downplayed a woman other than an 18-year-old in a Call of Duty lobby or something. I don't know a single man that does that. So those pressures to be working women and to be more stressed out is coming from other women because they have propaganda in their brains about feminism, and it's just to make money.
If you like the short clip, you can catch another one here, or you can catch the full episode right here.